Good morning. Anybody who's interested in what we're doing with Atlas, I am. He's a pretty fun guy. I mean, he's super interesting. Um, he's sensitive and he has a lot of thoughts. He can get anxious pretty easily, but we're showing him, how to shake it off. I think if I was guessing, I'd have to actually look, but I think we're at about 6 weeks on this journey. Um, Lately, I've been filming him about once a week just because, time and then editing the video and so forth and so on. I'm super happy with the way he's going. He comes out lower in his nervous system. His kind of go-to as far as walking is with that relaxed neck. The shape of his neck and the look of his body is changing in noticeable ways, which we should. I mean, horses are amazing that they can make those kinds of changes so quickly. Um, so today I want to just give you some bits and bobs of his glorious improvements, and just talk you through it and see if it can be some kind of help to you. So I let him walk around on a long rein for a bit because I want to, as I've said before, instill this as his baseline. That, of course, you can look around, but we don't need to have your head so high that I have to spread your ears to look through them to see where I'm going. Um, I prefer them to be level or ears to the level of the withers. Some of my horses that I ride regularly, they go quite low. I don't know why, but I'm not going to argue with them and say, well, not that low. I'm just going to let him be. Then he's already blown his nose, so that's really cool. I love that. I'm going to pick up on my contact. Really nice, really polite. And he says, little man there. Okay. And he's meeting me here, meeting me at the bit. There are bugs, and he is very sensitive to bugs, so some of that's going to be, and I did fly spray him. So by and large, I'm pretty happy with this because we've just been building this over the last 6 weeks. I'm thinking with my hands for him, keeping a steady, nice contact, quiet. Now I'm going to move his shoulders. I'm going to say, remember? He says, yeah, of course I remember. We've been doing this for a while now. There we go. Moving the shoulders is hands only through separation of the aids. Hands control the mouth, neck, shoulders. Legs control the haunches. Isolated leg means move sideways with your haunches. Both legs mean move forward. Keeping them separated helps the horse to more clearly understand what's being asked of them, and they learn combinations really easily. You can add one thing to the other quite quickly because they're understanding the aids one at a time. So shoulders are doing just fine. So now I'm going to check. I'm really working on him staying with me while I make changes like to a different gait, or if I add a leg, I would like him to stay with me because if he changes his neck height a lot, that means he's changing his balance and likely changing his emotions. So shoulder in on a circle, just checking the aids here. And that feels pretty good. There's some distraction, and I'm going to say, we're not doing that. No, thank you. And by doing that in the manege where we're working, then you get the repetitions in you need if he goes, oh my gosh, I see a cow. And we say, we're not doing that right now. We're doing this. And then when that goes well, I want to, because we were working on a reverse neck, I want to go back to the long neck and make the long neck his new normal. Long neck, relaxation, trying to put together that posture. The higher the natural, well, he is a case of a reverse neck, so the long neck is one of the key things that we do to help with that reverse neck. This is nice contact. He's reaching out to me out there. His neck is in a really nice arced, telescoping engagement. So that just made me happy. So I thought I'd talk about it. Now I want to see about isolated leg this way for shoulder in. And he says, yeah, it's okay. I like that he is staying relatively with me, allowing me to move him around. I don't use, in case you don't know, I don't use draw reins or side reins or martingales. I, however, will use a martingale if a horse is going to break my nose, because I've already had that happen. This guy had already been ridden in a martingale, and it wasn't changing his insides, what was really bothering him and what he was struggling with. So I put that away. I put that idea away and said, we need understanding. We don't need to just try to get you to do things. So all of that looks good. Now I'm going to check the other kind of sideways movement, which is when they're moving into the flexion. So this would be travers on a circle. And again, pretty steady right there. He's a little bit wobbly in the contact. There we go. Good. Now I feel him right in my hands. Good. And that's trusting to me. The reason I don't go with the Western thing that I was raised in, which is having the horse come off of the bit, stay off of the bit, is because they're not meeting me anywhere. If I go to say to the horse, hey, meet me here. So I reach out to them and they say, whoosh. And I go, that's not what I'm looking for. That's evasion. That's not connection. And I really, there is a huge power, crazy huge power in connection with horses. They can tell the difference if you would like to connect with them or simply correct them. And I've said before, when you make choices between correction and connection, if you choose connection, they might not be as correct. If you choose correction, you might suffer in the connection. So when going back and forth between those choices, you'll have to go back and help the other to come back where you had it before. So everything feels really good. His walk is nice. It's rhythmic. He is an endurance horse, but I believe that all horses deserve to have a good program mentally, physically, and emotionally. And that means a walk that is relaxed, where the hind leg is swinging freely, the shoulders are moving freely. And in the previous videos, I might go back and put them together. He was kind of picking up the hind leg and then punching it into the ground. And that's hard on the hind leg, and it's not efficient either. The swing under the body, the load, and then the disengagement, that's much more healthy, and you'll take fewer strides per mile, if you want to look at it that way. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is see how we are in our walk trot transitions. Working on keeping the neck position in a moderate place where I've asked him to put it. I want to keep things moderate because this is about functionality with this guy. And he's also really quite smart. So he's like, oh, you kind of have the energy of trotting. So, and I'm like, I do. But I want to stay connected here. There we go. Connected here. Connection, before I go to the trot. Or else he's going to go whoosh with his head to try to initiate the trot with his front leg instead of let's stay there and take it through the whole body and initiate the trot. So, been working on this. He's been getting better. Oh, and we're outside, which is cool. So here we go. I'm going to say that's where I would like you to be. This is where I want to cooperate. And that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I've been also working on extending the neck in the trot to get more kind of a let go feel and an understanding of what we want to have as far as a request answer cycle. There we go. Because if I'm trotting through the wilds of the endurance ride, you just saw a car over there, then, and he goes, oh my gosh, what is that? And it could be anything from a bear to another horse to goats to cows. I want to have that request cycle of saying, can I have a longer neck? Thank you. Because that's one way I can bring him back to a place where we have agreed on some things. Do this every day. Do this every day. There we go. There we go. And we're going to walk. There. So that was pretty good. Back to our baseline. I want to keep reminding him of the baseline, saying hi to my neighbor, which is just exhale, exhale, swing, exhale. So I want, which I've said before, if something brings the nervous system up, I want to get into the rhythm that I am going to work to bring it back down. So he says, like that was a bit hard. My emotions are not real happy with it, but I'm going to support him coming back down so his nervous system knows that it's not going to get abandoned. It's like, okay, we're coming up, but we're going to go back down. You're going to feel okay about it in the end. And with horses like him, who are so sensitive and have such big emotions, that I think it's the only thing that's fair. Now we're going to work on that walk-trot transition. Oh, it's a little high, but he didn't change it rapidly, so I'm okay with that. Trot for a little bit. And again, I don't mind that he's distracted because it gives me more repetitions to say, hey, how about we stretch forward, downward? There. That's nice. Forward, downward. Oh no, we're busy. Yeah, we're still busy. I can even touch on one rein and say, hey, sir. Yeah, there we go. Another thing I can do, not necessarily on the trail, but something I can do here is move his shoulders. So let's put some weight over the right shoulder. Yeah. And let's put some weight over the left shoulder. And I'm super happy about this because he's staying in a moderate position. And he's being more consistent. And the things that force consistency, like draw reins or big bits, you're only getting an illusion of how the horse feels about everything. Here, if he wanted to raise his neck up, periscope, look around, say, oh my gosh, she wants to walk, and whoosh, whoosh, oh my gosh. I'm going to hear about it because I'm not telling him he can't. So whatever he talks to me about, I'm going to hear it. I'm going to see it. So I can more easily monitor, where he's at. If he is offering me, steadiness, a nice neck, he's meeting me at the bit, then he's saying, I'm pretty okay with this, and he wants to stop. So I guess we'll stop. And that's what I'm looking for is I'll listen to you because that's fair. And I would like for you to listen to me. And when I ask you things, they're going to be beneficial. They're not going to be arbitrary. They're not going to be useless.